She's making.
She's making.
Pumpkin pie.
She's making pumpkin pie. Do you like pumpkin pie?
No.
You don't know? What else is she making besides pumpkin pie?
Dessert too.
Dessert too? And what do you? Does she make something for dessert that you really like?
What?
I don't know. What do you think Nana's going to make that you like for dessert?
Maybe ice cream cones.
Ice cream cones. That would be good. Do you like ice cream cones? Yeah. And what do you think you're going to have for dinner before you have your ice cream cones? Do you know what people usually eat on Thanksgiving?
Turkey.
Oh, do you think she's going to make a turkey? You do. And do you know what she's going to make with the turkey?
What?
I don't know. I'm asking you if you know. Did she tell you?
Maybe.
Did you talk about in school what some of the foods are that you eat for Thanksgiving?
Maybe. Maybe.
Do you want to ask Mom? Ask her, what do you think Nana is going to make?
Mommy, what do you make?
Maybe some mashed potatoes.
Do you
What do
like
you
mashed
think?
potatoes? Yes. Oh, good. Sounds like it's me. And who else is going to go to Nana's house?
Ashley.
And who is Ashley?
Who lives almost by it. Who lives right up the hill
She lives up the hill from Nana or from you?
from me.
From you? Oh, okay. Is Ashley your friend or your cousin?
Your aunt.
Your aunt.
Aunt.
She's your aunt. Okay. So your Aunt Ashley's coming. Who else?
Who else?
How about you name some of your uncles?
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday.
Some of my uncle.
Some of your-
Nana sent some.
Nana's sons? Is that what you said?
No, what? Nana's going to be.
Do you remember any of your uncles' names?
Tim.
Tim? Okay. And who else?
Kevin.
And Kevin. Okay. And?
Overland.
Keep going. Uncle Brian.
Uncle Ryan.
Yeah. Uncle Ryan. Who else?
What about Gigi?
Gigi.
Who's Gigi?
Who was far away?
She lives far away? Yeah. And who is she?
By Kevin's house.
Oh. Is Gigi your friend or your cousin or your aunt or?
Here's my cousin.
She is your cousin? No, is that your
Great
grandma?
grandma.
Oh.
Grandma.
Oh, she's a great. You are so lucky. You have a great grandma. You are
Two.
a lucky guy. Oh wow, you're really lucky. Good. You have good genes in that family, huh? Okay. Yeah, you're right. He's made leaps and bounds.
And this is
I hear like a lot more language
Still-
stuff than even
Yeah.
artistic stuff. Yeah. So his L's, his R's, his S's.
T's.
He still sometimes has like a lot of saliva in his mouth that he's not remembering to swallow. So I really want to still look at jaw stability because I think sometimes he's not really moving up and down through
Yeah,
that
and like
jaw
this
region.
is very. If we had the same conversation
At home,
like,
he would
at
be
home,
like,
it
right.
would be totally different.
Did you want to put your seatbelt on? No, you look like you want him to. Okay, would you like to make a list of all the things we need to do so you know when you get to play? Would that be okay with you? Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to make a whole list.
I don't know if we talked about this before or not, but we still have a lot of problems like at night with like post-nasal drip, stuff like that. Have you had other families like that? Have they had
Is he
any
noisy?
solution? He just coughs.
Coughs, and then it's like
It builds it up
builds
till
up
Yeah.
into like
Well,
gagging.
it's actually
vomiting.
interesting. Oh, really?
and
Because
it
when it
throws
gets
up on
bad.
occasion too.
The dark circles under his
Yeah.
eyes, and he's got that little bit of red,
Mhm.
in his cheeks, a little bit chapped in his cheeks. So a lot of kids have food intolerances, which is really interesting because everyone in the world probably has some food
Right.
intolerance, but we just kind of go, all
Yeah.
right, you know, not a big deal. We deal with it. So you get a little bit of stomach ache after you eat something, but you're like, I like that. I'm not giving it up, so
Right.
I'm a little more gassy or a little stomach ache or whatever. But when you have a child that has that consistent post-nasal drip and like that kind of dark circles under their eyes and everything, looking at food intolerances sometimes makes a lot of sense. So especially if it's to the point where he's gagging and
Well, it's almost like he
Yeah.
works himself up.
Yeah.
And
It's
you
is he a noisy sleeper? Do you hear him snoring? Is he restless at night?
yeah. Yeah,
Yes,
you toss
no?
it. He's a
Oh,
tosser
no.
and a turner.
Tossing, yes.
Yeah.
I don't
But
hear.
it's not consistent either. Like we always tend to notice it this time of year. It's like fall
Okay, so it
to
is
spring.
possible that's an environmental allergy also. It could be something. It might. Here's the thing with allergy testing. Allergies versus intolerances. So for environmental, traditional allergy testing is fine. For food allergies, when you go to like a traditional allergist, what they test is IgE, which is antibodies. So if you have an immediate reaction to a food, like if you had a peanut allergy or a milk allergy, you have an immediate
Rash or
reaction,
something.
a rash or respiratory symptoms like drink milk, start
Right.
coughing immediately. You would know that. I mean, you would say, every time we give him this food, this is what happens. But if you had an intolerance to something that built up over a period of time, you might not notice it, and it might be worse at certain times of the year when your body was having a harder time dealing with
Okay.
whatever. So, it might be Hello.
Hi guys.
Hi.
So, how are you?
Good, how
Nice
are
to
you?
see you.
What do you say?
I am so
Hi.
impressed with him.
Isn't he
Wow.
impressive?
He is just incredible. I can't believe what he's doing. So it could be that there's an underlying food intolerance, and then at certain times of the year it's worse. It could also be that he has environmental allergies. So this time of the year, the heat goes on.
Yeah.
There's a lot more dust and dust mites and everything in the environment. You know, at night, during the day when he's outside a lot, you might not get that as much, but you know, at night. So I think it's worth approaching it in two ways, especially if it gets to the point where you hear that postnasal drip, he's having those hard swallows, he's gagging, and you know, on occasion he's getting to the point where he's making himself throw up because what he's feeling is I have all this mucus pooling and I can't move it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and
that's
that's
exactly
probably
what it
why
looks like.
right, okay. So I would probably start with an allergist and just look at some environmental stuff. But I'm never anxious to put kids on medication.
Oh, yeah.
So I also want to look at food intolerances, and I think, unfortunately, traditional medicine poo-poos that, but I see every single solitary day of the week kids who have food intolerances that you take them off those, you know, whether it's dairy or whatever, and there's such a big difference.
Yeah.
So it might be a nutritionist and not,
Right.
you know,
Okay.
who recommends that, or a naturopath as opposed to an allergist that recommends IgG testing or IgA testing for intolerances.
Okay.
But I'm glad you brought that up because I think that is something. And whenever you see, I had actually a pediatric allergist say this to me about my son a lot of years ago. And Randy always had those dark circles under his eyes. And he said, you know, you don't have to be, you know, just take a look and you know that there's some kind of allergy going on. Whether or not we can put our finger on it is another story, but you know, just by looking at those dark circles. And then the other thing is, in terms of like the restless sleeping and everything, sometimes if there's some airway obstruction, you have kids that are either snore, make a lot of noise at night, or you have kids that are just really restless. They are all over the bed, you know, nonstop movement during
Yeah.
the night. So the other thing is, does he have an ENT that he sees?
We've taken him several times over the
Okay.
last few years.
So the question might be,
We even
what-
brought it up there, and it was just like, probably got a cold. It's that time of year.
Yeah, I have to say with my own kids, they really did not want to test my kids for allergies. They're like, well, just treat it with Claritin or whatever.
Yeah.
And we
And I don't want to
pushed.
put kids on medication
Right, and
if I don't.
we pushed, and it was a good thing because you can find some environmental allergies you have some control over.
Right.
And dust,
Right,
for
right, right.
example,
You can.
in my
You
that was
cover
my situation.
everything with
Yeah,
those.
you get the bedding, you get the
Right.
and
It does make
it
a
does
difference.
make a difference.
So I think it's worth, I think it's worth pursuing. But I also think it's worth just checking out tonsils and adenoids. It doesn't make as much sense to think that that's it because it's not all the time. But I always say, like, I'd rather check, I'd rather say the ENT, are his tonsils and adenoids enlarged?
Right.
Is that part of the picture?
Cancel it out.
Okay, you are being
Is it because
so
we're concerned about
patient.
him
I can't even
being
believe
junky
it.
or
Last
So,
year,
let's do this.
Seems like every year this time
Let's
of year. He starts with
watch
the
what you're doing with
post-nasal
your
and it
duration too.
turns into like this cough where he's constantly
Yep.
coughing,
And
almost trying to
I
clear it.
am
He can't
guessing that
clear
you're
it,
so good on
and
your
then
horn. Is
he'll
that
start
true?
to like maybe gag or
Yes.
choke or like throw up.
I bet
Okay.
listening to
And
you
I'm like,
talk
he's
that
not
your horn
sick,
is
but when
great.
he's coughing like
And
this,
then
I
we're
can't
gonna
send
do
him
your
to
tickle
school.
toes.
Yeah, I remember last winter was so bad for him.
So,
yeah.
and it's starting
And
again.
then, after we do your tickle
Yeah.
So
tongue,
I don't know.
we're gonna do your Z-Vibe. And Sue, do you wanna, is there anything in particular that you are either concerned about or excited about, or that you
Well,
wanna?
Definitely excited about his language is really coming along. He's getting some of those grammatical things that we were kind of worried about last time. He's really coming along nicely. Artic-wise, just some more cues for the He's really folding his tongue, and I don't know if he's really getting a good base with this, stability.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's at that level to be able to kind of get some more.
Okay, yeah, I'm wondering whether it's the lateral borders of his tongue.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's jaw? Is there anything that you're doing that you've moved him ahead with?
No, we're kind of plugging away with that. Truthfully, the para in school does the
Yeah.
program. I sit with her every 3-4 weeks, but they've been doing
At
well.
home, I mean, maybe we just like increase. I think we're up on the bite block.
2. He was working one side time. Have you gone to bilateral?
I mean, like when what do you mean 2?
Yep.
I just mean when I do like we've gone up to the bigger one.
Okay. So the way the program's written, you master one side and the
Yeah.
other side. Once you master both sides, you go to bilateral, and then you go up.
Okay.
Okay, so,
Well,
all right, so let's see how you're doing with your number 3 horn. Are you ready? Sitting up really tall. You look perfect.
actually, it's funny because airflow is kind of hard. for him,
Beautiful
too.
one.
So I wonder if it's all connected.
2, 3, 4. Is that learned?
Yeah, I think so.
5, 6. Oops, sorry. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Look at his cheeks.
Nice.
17, 18, 19, and 20. High five. Guess what? You get a new whistle. That was amazing. What a good job. So he's gotten that elongated airflow. So the reason for using the duration tube is to give him that elongated
Yeah, he does great
airflow.
with
So
that.
he really, I mean, if it's fun, he can do it. But it's not like a have to anymore. Once he got that idea. All right, let's move up on your whistles. Okay, you have to keep this one spinning. Ready? Wow. Okay. So yeah, exactly, good. That's exactly. So you want to get him to the point where like this, where he doesn't need to puff his cheeks out to do it. It can be not. Yay, Sue. Okay, so guess what you get to do? You get to make 2 checks or X's in those boxes. Would you like your table so we can put things on your table? You would? Okay. Here you go. Let's put your table on. Excellent. Okay, here you go. You can make it check or next in this box and in that box. Oh, what a perfect X you made. And you can make one in that box too.
Where's Avery today?
At my mom's.
Nice.
He would forget something.
Okay. You did a great job. All right, let's see what your tongue looks like, sir. So I really want to see how the lateral borders of his tongue when
Yeah,
he's
that's
doing
hard
that,
for the-
because it sounds like that's still a little
That's
bit
holding
above.
him up a little
Can
bit.
you hold that? I'm gonna go on. Ah, look at that. Can you touch over here with your tongue? Can you touch over here? Can you touch over here? Can you touch over here? Good for you.
I
Ready?
mean, truthfully, we haven't done a ton
Touch
of work
here.
on it. We've been
Touch
really
here.
focusing on
Touch
the
here. Touch
consonant
here.
clusters,
Touch
which he's
here.
doing
Yeah.
really
Here.
well with.
Good. Okay, while we're in here, let's try this. Tongue up, tongue down, tongue up, tongue down.
I feel like when you do a lot of
Behind
this,
your
it's
teeth.
just
But when you say add the sound in, he goes
Yeah.
back to the old habits.
I know. Okay, let's see something. I'm going to take this away. Let's see. No vibration. Tongue up, tongue down. And he's a little asymmetrical. Oops. Tongue up, tongue down. Down here. Tongue up, tongue
That
down.
was good.
Tongue up, tongue down. Yeah, he's still sinking the middle of his tongue a little bit when he's doing it. I'm going to move down that into the speech range a little bit more. Let's see what happens. Ready? Tongue up, tongue down, tongue up, tongue down, tongue up, tongue down, down here. Okay, good. Down do. La. Ooh. La. Good. La. Good. La. So it goes back to.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Okay, so then what we probably need to do is
What he's doing
go
is he's folding his
down.
tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know why he's folding his tongue? Look at where his jaw is. I think this has to do as much with jaw stability. So watch what he does when he does this. He's like this. Yeah. So try that again. Say la. See how his
Jaw
jaw
sure.
comes out? Yeah. So let's just try something. Put that there. Oh, let me get you symmetrical. Let go for
like
1
he's
second.
trying not to use
Yeah.
the lip.
Right. So he's
Right.
Trying.
Right.
Yeah.
La. La. Behind your teeth. La. La. Okay, so that's really hard as we get down. So what we were working in a wide open position because he didn't have that grading. So we kind of separated out the jaw and the tongue. We worked at them like they were separate units, which they're not. So now what I think we need to do is we need to come back down into the speech range and see if we can get stability and dissociation. Okay, let's see something. I think we know where we need to work with that. You get to make 2 checks or X's, but you know what? We didn't do this one, so you get to do this one and this one. It's kind of silly. We jumped around a little bit. Can you make an X here? Oh, how do you hold your pen?
Right.
My OT friends don't like it, I hear. Let's move it down. Good, right there. Nice work. And I know this is silly, but this one. And yeah, and then we'll do this. So do it there, and then we'll. Good for you. I love the way you make those X's. They're so nice. We're going to do this exercise now, okay? We're going to go crossing midline. Let's get right claw. Let's see what you can do here. Do you like the tickles on or off for this one? Like them on? Okay, hold it there. You touch here. And then follow it over here. Follow, follow, follow. Okay, go back here. Follow, follow, follow. Oh, what happened to back there? Yeah, so you can still see, like, he can't dissociate. He's still, if I get stability, you know, he's biting. But then when I ask him to move his tongue, he has a really hard time separating out the jaw and the tongue. Okay, let's try the other side. Here, and here, here, and here. Yeah, okay. So it's a little bit better from left to right than right to left. Do you see that?
I really couldn't. I mean, I saw this side was harder. Yeah.
Okay. So,
I think.
Yeah, you wonder if you would have done it the other way, if it would the second time would still
Right,
that
maybe
is
would have
that
been
is
easier.
possible because you know what, that motor planning stuff is still,
Yeah.
you know, which might be something that you try. Just you know what I mean? Just like on different
Different
days, starting
Yeah.
on and just seeing if that makes a difference.
Well, and for our tick, we've been doing like Nancy Kaufman's like level 2, the really, the multisyllabic words, just finding a couple core ones that are harder for the coordination. But for the most part, our tick
Yeah,
wise, the coordination is
you know what's interesting
okay.
to me? If you look at jaw height, so Robin Walsh and Sarah Johnson have a relatively new program that organizes bilabials, some of the lingual alveolars, some velars by jaw height, and it's really interesting when you look at, if you were to look at him like in those lingual alveolar sounds by jaw height to see where he makes the sounds. The other thing is, your S, your T, your D, you can make it up or down, or the L, you really kind of need to get that elevation, so it's a little more difficult. And I'm just wondering the R, what is? Can you say read? Can you say red?
What?
Do finals though.
So, what?
Final sounds, he's getting the
How about
final.
GRs? Like something where he, no, how about this great?
Great
Something that pulls
Yeah.
his, how about bear?
bear.
Yeah, so something that
Getting-
pulls like
yeah.
the ear, pulls, say ear.
Ear.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, there were a couple.
Ear.
Sister, Nate, say sister.
Sister.
Okay, now that's
Oh, so-
recently there were a couple words. Wow, I
How about this
definitely
one?
heard
Can you
more.
say C?
C.
So his S is getting much better. I mean, it's still like a little slushy, but he's really getting that. Yeah, you know what? All those sounds, this is really the part of the tongue that matters. Because I don't care if he makes some of this tongue up, tongue down, or tongue in the middle, as long as he gets this. The L is the one that you really need to get that,
So you need like in the back of your tongue, the sides of your
Yeah.
tongue to be.
You need to
activated.
stabilize the sides of your tongue. Okay, handsome, let's do some chewy tubes. Chewy tubes. All right. So, you ready? Lay your feet down. Sitting really tall. All right. Do you think you could do 10 for me? Let's say, ready? 1. You bite and I'll count. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go slow. 9, 10. Do you like to go do things fast? Can you do them nice and slow for me? For you. Ready? 1,